Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Next Prompt. This is Pandurang Kamat, back with Rajesh Abhyankar. And we have been talking about Suzega and AI and how it's changing the business that we are in. The agentic enterprise is already here, and companies are looking at how AI can help them gain an edge, make uh, a moat out of their data, and leapfrog their competition. And Suzega has been helping clients realize that vision. Today, I want to talk about another construct that we work with clients on: innovation streaming. So imagine the way you stream entertainment today, you stream sports, you are getting immediate ROI, immediate satisfaction, immediate results that you see the moment you start playing, whatever you want to play on your streaming app. Imagine enterprises seeing value in those kind of cycles. In the enterprise world, that means compressing value realization cycles from years and months into weeks. So, Rajesh, why don't you start us off by taking a step back and explaining why is this even necessary? And how did we
Yeah,
get here,
la-
and what problems are we solving?
yeah, it's a great topic for today. Last year, when we started reaching out to some of our prospects, one thing was very clear. In their mind, they knew that AI is here. They knew it's going to have an impact, but it was extremely hard for them to pinpoint where do they start and where is the ROI. Is it safe? And there were many, many questions open. And for us, that feedback was extremely important. And we looked at the various existing business models or alternatives that our clients have. One is SaaS, right? You can go to a vertical SaaS company, that's your insurance company. There are plenty of insurance based AI SaaS platforms. And clients were not too inclined to buy that because that would mean customizing the software, integrating it into their systems, and then paying monthly or yearly fees for almost forever. And it was very clear that SaaS was uh, not the right model for them because they could write a lot of that software in the same amount of time it takes to customize it. Again, with the help of AI, and they were getting the models were getting good at coding. So to us, it was very clear upfront, and now the markets are also responding to it, and the people seem to see the impact. But we had this on our website from the beginning, saying the enterprise software as we know it, the system of records, sure, you need a secure way in which you can store the transactions about your business and so on. But beyond that, all the features and the functionality and the customizations that happen on a typical SaaS platform, uh, that are best done in a custom way with the help of AI, building it exactly the way the client runs their business rather than forcing them to adapt to how the SaaS platform works. So that was broken. So we didn't want to get into that model. And this is brand new company starting at the dawn of AI. There's no baggage to carry. So we were pretty open to any and all ideas of how should we design the company outside in. And the other thing what clients were telling us is the traditional consulting and services model is also something that they were not too keen on. That we don't want nice slides and coming and charging us an hourly billing rate just to tell us what our systems are and how we work and a typical consulting model, or bringing an army of consultants, and many of them are juniors in a pyramid model, and again billing for timesheets and a certain billing rate. That is not something that they were looking at. They wanted outcomes. We thought there's a new category required, and we are calling it the innovation studio. So we want the reliability and scale of software because there is value in it. Right? There's faster time to market. You've already solved and have a lot of building blocks available. But there's also the wisdom and the nuance of expert services. That's equally valuable, especially when you're trying something new. So we thought this is not an evolution of the consulting model or an evolution of the software model, but it's an entirely new category. So that's why we called it the Innovation Studio, and we think we are the first innovation studio to think this way. And it's designed for different outcomes. And the outcomes here are as a public benefit corporation, which is how we are incorporated, our goal is to amplify human capabilities and not replace them. We want to build our clients' AI capability, not create a dependency on us. And we are here to work alongside with you, co-create and co-innovate with you, because this is brand new technology and we have to work together. You know your business really well. We don't claim to be experts in your business. We can't. You've been running this business for decades. We do understand cloud and data and AI really well, and we need to work together in an agile and a nimble way to find what is the right use case and what's the right ROI model for AI adoption. So yeah, that's the backstory. That is pretty much built, uh, reverse engineered from what our clients were telling us.
Perfect. That's a great segue. And let's dig into that a little bit because, it's great to have a catchphrase, but it's important to, kind of unpack all this and show what it's made of. Now, clients, as you said, are typically looking to gain an advantage in their own business, right? They're trying to amplify their core capabilities. They are trying to make sense of this new technology, AI. But even before they can leverage it fully, they need to get their data ready. And the data is actually their biggest advantage because that's the one thing that is distinct and unique to their business and their business landscape. The models out there may have been trained on public data, but what every enterprise carries with it has to be truly amplified and leveraged for them to gain that advantage, right? So, how does the Suzega as a partner break down for the client what are the different components that we bring together for the AI Innovation Studio and Innovation Streaming to work? Let's get into a little bit, maybe elaborate on the different pieces of this.
Sure. I think let me talk about yesterday. I was in a sales call, a prospect, a very senior C-suite uh, person, and she was saying, "How do we accelerate our innovation?" We talk a lot about AI, and as a consumer, I've used some of the usual tools, and I know what it does, but I have no idea what it means to open up some of our core systems to that AI. What are some of the challenges there? And the ask was very clear. How do we compete better? How do we increase our revenue with the help of these new capabilities? How do we bring in some of the efficiencies in our operations? And how do we improve our customer experience? So, when the rubber hits the road, that is what the clients are looking for. They are not looking for fancy demos and the use of video, images, audio, and some fancy uh, chat and other AI demos. They are great for demos as they are, right? And to make it real, the questions that the clients are asking us are very simple. I'm willing to invest in this, but what can it do for me? And can you make it concrete to my business, to my industry, and not some generic boilerplate demos of what AI can do, which most of the platform companies provide. So, what we had done over the last, I would say, 9 months or so is we built our own platform. We call it Ithara, and we should maybe do a separate episode about what it is and why we built it. And what that's giving us is pretty much overnight, we are able to build concrete prototypes. These are prototypes, by the way. They are not integrating and they are not connecting to any of your systems and so on. But we are reading publicly available information. We understand the industries we work in, and we're able to put in 3 to 4 solid prototypes that help the client visualize. Oh, this is what you mean by uh, connecting our CRM with our ERP and with our production schedules. And when I connect all of that, that enables my salespeople now to be much more confident in what we can deliver. And by ready for AI, it doesn't mean I have just put in or layered in a new technology stack. What it means is, are my people ready for AI? Do they understand what it means for their roles and what it can do, it cannot do? There are things that we make clear upfront that what makes us human is distinctly us: empathy, intuition, curiosity. initiative. AI can't do that. So when we say, are you AI ready? It's not just about technology, it's also about people. Is your company ready? And what are the core capabilities that we want to amplify with AI? So we take a very different view of AI. We're not going in there saying, oh, let's find use cases. Let's do a hackathon and list 100 use cases and crowdsource them inside the company. And then let's show you some ROI. We save 2 hours of work here and 5 hours of work there. And I mean, there's value in doing something like that. But we go into the heart of the problem saying, what is it that makes you unique? What's about your company? And more often than not, it's the people and their core skills and their expertise and the way it could be customer service, it could be R&D, it could be supply chain. There are skills that companies have, and those are the ones that we want to amplify, and that results in acceleration. So that's a very different conversation than uh, going in and what they're hearing. So when we start off right in the first or second meeting, they understand this is different and why we are calling this a new category in itself. Um, so that's on the business side. Do you want to talk, Pandurang, since you have also been working with building this capability internally? You want to talk about the expert pods, the brain
Yeah.
trust, and the 6 week cycle, and how did
Ithara.
that come about? Or maybe Ithara. There's so many components in it, all packaged into a single subscription model. So let's unpack a little bit of that.
Sure. So, there are 5 pieces that make up this unique advantage that we bring to the clients. First and foremost, it's the AI talent that we have assembled, right? And I'll talk about how there's a flywheel that gets created when you bring the right talent and build the right set of tools and culture. You keep attracting, the similar high quality talent that wants to work with and learn from people like them. So the AI talent for this new age has to be thought of very, very differently. You are not just engineering production grade systems anymore, but you're thinking and shepherding and steering the intelligence that is now available to every one of us through these very large and very uh, software engineering expert models that are out there. So we have created a set of talent that is thinking and operating from first principles in the age of this intelligence. They think in terms of features, they think in terms of scales, they narrow it down to a point where the AI can't get it wrong when it implements it. Then they review that, and then they have AI write the test cases and build and test before it goes out to the customer. So we are leveraging AI at a frontier that puts us at an advantage over any competition out there because we are using it like it is meant to be. We are leveraging the power of the models to orchestrate the entire software engineering lifecycle while we focus on the features and the definitions and the performance of the outcome that the AI delivers.
You talked about
This
culture,
talent,
and just that
yeah,
just gave me a thought that I thought I'll just
yeah,
interrupt you quickly and share. See, on one hand, companies want to trust AI and they want to rush to build autonomous AI agents, and they want the AI agents to do a lot of the work with as much autonomy as they can give it. And the question you asked is the same luxuries that you're extending to your AI agents. How about giving it to your own people?
yes,
They won't be compatible, right? You have AI agents that are autonomous, but then your people are sitting in 3 layers of approvals. When the AI can move fast, and then there's a human in the loop, and the human then says, "Oh wait, this is above my pay grade. I need to go and get an approval for somebody," and then that person has to go another level up and another 3 levels up. And we said this
yeah,
whole chain of command and control is not compatible with autonomous AI. If you want to bring in autonomous AI, you need autonomous people.
yeah.
And that's where we lean in so much on the humanity of our client's organization. When we say AI readiness, it's about technology and people. There is a cultural shift that's required, and that's best done when we do it in short 6 week cycles.
Correct. Absolutely. And I think, organizations create the right environment for autonomy and you need the right high agency attitude to be cultivated within your people to take advantage of that autonomy and have the agency to deliver outcomes, to own the outcomes, and not wait for orders and so forth. So that's the culture of mastery on their craft, of the confidence that they are delivering high quality outcomes to the customers and clients, and the agency to take charge of something and take it to its logical conclusion and own the final outcome to both Suzega and to the clients. That's the culture that is a key ingredient that we help cultivate, encourage, and foster at Suzega. Then there is Ithara, right? And Ithara is the platform that we have built in house to help us deliver high quality outcomes and high quality software to ourselves and to our clients in these short, compressed innovation cycles that we are looking at. One of the things we realized early is that if you want to truly deliver production grade systems in a 6 to 8 week cycle, you need a lot of governance that has to be baked into your platform, whether it comes to quality or security of what you produce. So we have created those accelerators, and then we focused on particular verticals that we were interested in. And for those verticals, we have an opinionated set of accelerators. So on day one, like you said, even before actually landing the project, even when we go out and do our first or second or third meeting with the clients, we are able to show them what an opinionated transformed workflow looks like in the context of their business. And that's the Ithara advantage. That's the third pillar of our innovation streaming. Then we have the brain trust, and the brain trust is the collective wisdom, experience, and expertise of our founders and our entire Suzega team that brings its wisdom to the client's meeting rooms. So when a
I'll tell you a
client wants to understand,
little secret about brain trust.
yeah,
We copied it from Pixar, the movie company. And when I read it in Ed Catmull's book, the Creativity Inc., he talks about how the brain trust inside Pixar has helped them make sure that every single movie that the studio produced is a hit. And the secret behind that, one of the reasons that he attributes it to, is this concept of brain trust, where everybody is invited and there is a certain psychological safety in which they operate. They give feedback about all kinds of things from the character arc, the story, and one might come and say, "Oh, I don't see my kids enjoying this," or "I can't relate to this," and so on. As the director of the movie, and in our case, as the director of the engagement, that person is completely responsible to take it or leave it. So brain trust is a
yeah,
way to collect the wisdom, deep dive into one of the aspects of, or one of the hardest problems or an innovation challenge that we are trying to address for on behalf of the client. We invite the best of the best from our company, and we are all focused on that for 2 hours in each cycle. And that brings, I think, a very distinct advantage to bring that collective wisdom, even if with those who are not directly working on that engagement, and bringing that to the table. So we kind of adapted the Pixar model to work for us because we think this is as creative as making a movie.
yeah. And what I loved about it is people, read the pre-reads before they come into the brain trust. So they have well thought through ideas and opinions and discussions, which is what the brain trust session should be all about, rather than someone presenting and everyone else listening and just taking notes and so forth. So I think the brain trust idea has resonated well, both tremendously internally, but also when we take some of these ideas and co-solve the problem with the clients have appreciated. But then talk a little bit about this something else that's fundamentally different, right? Unlike the traditional ways of delivering software in the enterprise, Suzega Innovation Streaming and Studio deliver guaranteed outcomes. So talk a little bit about that fundamental shift and how that has been resonating so well with clients who work with us.
When we start with a new engagement, we are not very familiar with the business of the client and so on. So in the first 1 or 2 cycles of these 6 weeks, we work together and say that let's calibrate what a, a guaranteed outcome looks like. Initially, it may be just delivering some of these features that we agree to. But then soon it shifts to, can we reduce the cycle time of a certain business process? Can we see an increase in revenue or the pipeline or whatever that business metric is? We want to have a very objective way of measuring it. And that's why we have an outcome engine in Ithara, and we instrument the entire cycle time right down to every single LLM call, tool call, and that we have observability across the board, and we can use all of that to build a very objective framework. So within 1 or 2 cycles, we get to the point where we are comfortable in agreeing to these outcomes. And when we say agreeing to get penalized if those outcomes are not delivered. So that's what we mean by guaranteed outcomes. That if we say that we want to deliver this in 6 weeks and then there's 2 weeks of cool down period, so let's say 2 months, and we have 6 such cycles per year, that is pretty much becoming I hope that that becomes an industry standard, that you need to adopt AI in these bite-sized projects, getting everybody in the company along in your client's organization, getting the people ready for it, helping them see how it helps them to have an intelligent assistant partner by their side to do whatever it is that they are really good at, and steering it and keeping an eye the other way around also, whether the AI is doing it the right way. And as we do that together, we identify a few very concrete objective metrics with which we can then switch our engagement model to guarantee those outcomes. We have designed ourselves inside out as an innovation studio to meet that demand. And I hope that a lot of these best practices, we want to share them openly so that more companies adopt it. And that's also one of our public benefits that we promised, which is pioneering a new way of working and then sharing that with others so that they can also make their organizations more autonomous and trust humans and trust your people more, give them the autonomy more, while you bring in the AI to be more autonomous agents into your company.
Yeah, I think you touched upon all of the aspects of how this innovation streaming works, how it benefits, and there's a couple of points that I wanted to kind of expound on a little bit. One is the whole idea that every engagement, every 6 week cycle is not only delivering value to a client, it's also helping us learn what can we improve within Ithara, within our methods, and within our own training and tooling that can improve the next cycle with the customer. So our whole motto is about find those repeatable patterns, compound them from cycle to cycle, and then scale this, right? And that's working beautifully. And the other very, very critical thing for all of this to succeed is having the right flywheel going, right? And if you think about it, if you uh, reimagine the way knowledge work should be done and the way engineering should be done in the age of AI, you build the right tools, right attitude in your own teams, and deliver outcomes that attracts talent who want to become like the people they are seeing, and they get attracted to the right company. Again, repeatable patterns compounds the advantage that you have because you're now bringing the right talent in. You're able to bring better clients, better work towards you. That attracts more talent. So I think that flywheel is one of the most positive things to come out of this AI super cycle that I can think of. So just to bring all this, tie it all together, innovation streaming and delivering value every 6 to 8 weeks. It's like entertainment that you're used to. It's continuous, it's predictable, and you can cancel anytime, but we haven't had any of those. But it's very important that we emphasize that if you want to start, understanding what innovation streaming is, give us a call, set up a strategy session, do a pilot with us, and then I'm guaranteeing you will be subscribing for the annual plan at the first pilot realization, and you see the outcomes yourself. Any closing comments, Rajesh, on as we wrap this up?
Yeah, we are here to create your AI capability as a client, not create a dependency on us. There is nothing, there's no strings attached. Whatever we build, all the software we leave behind, it's yours to keep and run. And if you want us to continue to innovate, we are here. If you want us to run what we build, we are here. But we want that to be based on trust and mutual value creation, not based on artificial dependencies and stickiness.
Yeah. Perfect. With that, keep listening, keep watching. We are on every podcast platform out there, from Spotify to Apple Podcasts to YouTube. Give us your feedback. Tell us what you'd like us to talk more about in the next episode, and subscribe to the next prompt. Thank you.